Grief can make anyone weak. When Ian sees his best friend's widowed mother breaking down, he steps in to comfort her. What begins as kindness quickly turns into a dangerous, passionate moment. One kiss changes their lives forever. Neither saw it coming. Neither wants it to end. Trust me, you do not want to miss what happens after this. Our story begins with two women named Lil and Rose, who have been best friends their entire lives, practically sisters, living next door to each other near a beautiful beach where they raised their sons together. Lil's son Ian and Rose's son Tom, two boys who grew up more like brothers than friends, surfing together, eating together, and spending almost every night at each other's homes. Ian's father passed away when he was just a child, and even though years have gone by, the loss still haunts him, leaving him quiet and sad at times, while his mother Lil tries her best to comfort him and remind him he's not alone in the world. Tom's father, Harold, is still around, but always busy with work. And one day, he gets offered a senior lecturer position at the University of Sydney, which means the family would have to move away from the beach they've called home forever. News that deeply upsets Rose because she can't imagine living anywhere else, especially away from Lil. Harold starts suspecting that maybe Rose doesn't want to leave because of something deeper with Lil, maybe even something romantic between the two women. But Rose laughs it off and kisses him, telling him he's being ridiculous. A few days later, Harold leaves for Sydney to start his new job, while Rose stays behind, feeling suddenly alone and empty in her big house by the sea. That afternoon, she goes swimming at the beach, and afterward lies down on the sand next to Ian, who was also lying there by himself, looking sad as usual. But when he sees Rose, something in his eyes changes, his sadness fading as he looks at her in a way he never has before, his gaze lingering on her body for a few moments, while she pretends not to notice, but doesn't move away either. That evening, both families gather for dinner as usual, and while Lil and Tom dance together to some music playing in the background, Rose sits with Ian, sharing drinks, and the two of them keep staring at each other across the table, tension building between them that neither acknowledges out loud. After dinner, Lil heads home with a goodnight kiss to Rose, but Ian decides to stay over since Tom has had too much to drink and needs company. Around midnight, Rose finishes her work and is heading to her bedroom when Ian steps out of his room. She asks if he needs anything. He says no, and then, without warning, he moves closer to her and starts kissing her. And Rose doesn't resist, doesn't push him away. Instead, she responds to him fully, and they spend the night together. But here's where everything falls apart. Tom wakes up in the middle of the night and notices Ian isn't in the room, so he goes to the kitchen for water, and that's when he sees his own mother quietly coming out of Ian's room, looking disheveled and guilty. The sight destroys him. He walks to the beach and stays there all night, staring at the ocean, unable to process what he just witnessed. The next morning, Tom goes to Ian's house where Lil is making breakfast, and he tells her he doesn't want to move to Sydney because he wants to stay and take care of his mom. But as Lil tries comforting him, Tom suddenly leans in and kisses Lil, catching her completely off guard. Lil pushes him away immediately, but then Tom drops the bomb. He tells her last night he saw his mother coming out of Ian's room half-dressed, and now Lil understands exactly why Tom did what he just did. She's shocked, heartbroken, unable to believe that her best friend and her own son have been together behind her back. That night, Tom returns to Lil's house, claiming he's not feeling well emotionally, and asks if he can stay over. And later, while Lil is lying in bed, Tom lies down beside her and gently starts touching her. And this time, she doesn't push him away. She responds. Quick pause. If this story is hitting you hard, please subscribe right now. I'm on my knees begging. If you're a guy, I pray you find your 10 by 10 baddie. If you're a girl, I hope you get a boyfriend who makes you feel this comfort. So please subscribe, because it comforts your narrator too. The next morning, Tom returns home and his mother asks where he was all night. And with zero hesitation, Tom tells her he was doing with Lil exactly what she did with Ian. Rose slaps him hard across the face, furious and humiliated. Realizing the mess they've all created, Rose goes to Lil and tells her that what both of them did was wrong, that they crossed lines that should never be crossed, and that they need to stop this immediately before it destroys everyone. Lil agrees and tells Ian that Rose doesn't want to continue their relationship anymore, but Ian is devastated, confessing that he's fallen deeply in love with Rose and can't live without her. Meanwhile, Rose is also struggling, unable to stop thinking about Ian, even though she knows it's wrong. When Ian comes to see her again, she tells him to leave, but he doesn't. He moves closer, and this time when he kisses her, she doesn't stop him. At the same time, Tom is also being intimate with Lil at her house. Days pass, and the four of them settle into this strange, forbidden arrangement. Ian with Rose, Tom with Lil, eating dinner together, going to the beach together, acting like a twisted but happy family that society would never understand. One day, Tom gets offered a directing job in Sydney and decides to take it, moving away and meeting a girl named Mary who starts working with him. He begins falling for Mary, and one night after dinner, he spends the night with her instead of returning home to Lil. Lil waits for him all night, heartbroken, realizing that what she feared most has finally happened. The young man she fell for has found someone his own age. Rose sees Lil's pain and suddenly fears the same fate with Ian. Soon, Tom announces he's marrying Mary, and despite everyone's mixed emotions, the wedding happens, though no one is truly happy. Not Rose, not Lil, and certainly not Ian. At the wedding reception, Ian dances with another girl named Hina, and when she sees him with her, it breaks her heart completely, realizing that Ian too is moving on. That night, Ian knocks on Rose's door, but she's too overwhelmed to open it. He leaves hurt, and the next morning he has a swimming accident in the ocean. At the hospital, Hina stays by his side, and gradually the two of them grow closer until she tells him she's pregnant. Years pass. Both Ian and Tom are now fathers with daughters of their own, spending time at the beach with their families and mothers like a normal extended family. But the past never truly dies. One evening, Tom sneaks away to meet Lil, and the two of them reconnect physically, but Ian catches them in the act. Furious, Ian confronts Rose, blaming everything on her, and in the heat of the argument, he reveals the truth to Mary, that Tom has been with his mother and that Ian himself once had a relationship with Rose. Mary is disgusted and leaves immediately, and so does Hina. The next day, Rose asks Lil why she was with Tom again, and Lil admits she never stopped loving him, that shortly after their wedding, they had started falling back into each other. Rose tells her that Ian blames her for everything and always has. But sometime later, the storm passes. Ian swims in the ocean, comes out, and greets Lil, Rose, and Tom with a cheerful good morning as if nothing ever happened. The four of them sit together on the beach, relaxed and at peace, having accepted that their story, as messy and forbidden as it was, is simply their story. And with that, this wild, twisted, unforgettable journey comes to an end.